Nice to meet you.
So, do you think you guys could connect with one another today?
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
Let's connect to the
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I better go to the bathroom. What time is it?
2:04.
They like to be serious. Be comfortable. Oh, no wonder I didn't know that. Oh, so that's excellent. That's good to know. That's excellent. I never knew that. That's good. To avoid that, yeah, yes. Yeah, no, it's like that.
Mary Kay,
Yes.
did you need this one too?
I might, yes.
Okay.
How would you question
Hi. Are we up and running yet?
We are live.
Okay. Hello, streaming peoples. Welcome back to our Success Signature Day. And Julie, Jess, can you pass these out? Yep. Sorry, change of plans.
COP.
COP without the D. Sorry. You know COPD? I know, I keep seeing those stupid commercials.
We don't have TV in our.
About another disease that the pharmaceutical companies made up.
Oh, okay. I grew up without television, so I can relate to that. We watch Netflix and things, but we don't. Yeah, since my daughter knows. Always moving.
Strategy map handout, is it not in here?
Yeah, Jess, can we get a couple of strategy maps?
Which,
Those are
the river
the-
map? It's in their event packet.
Yeah.
But you need them too?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
But we both need them, and we have extras, right, in case that they didn't come with them today? Okay.
Thank you, Jessica.
Thanks, Jess. So I wanted to start our second half of the day by talking a little bit about some new things that we're offering, some new opportunities to work with us. So this morning you experienced spot coaching, and you experienced the accelerated journey that occurs when you have a coach. So the Success Signature program is kind of phase one, in that it gives you this remarkable content encapsulated. It's basically 27 years of my experience, Mary Kay's experience, and Mary's experience kind of encapsulated in 18 modules. This is that program is what I would have loved to have had when I got started. It answers all the questions I had as an early entrepreneur back in 2008. It incorporates the amazing content I learned as a business strategist in corporate America for 25 years, and it incorporates what it's like to be a CEO that I learned over the last 7 years, and it incorporates the whole online strategies. And what's missing from that program is one-on-one coaching. What's missing from that program is what you experienced on stage here, is spot coaching. Just imagine if you experienced spot coaching for hours with your own personal private Success Signature coach. One of the things that we're always doing in our Success Signature program is we're looking for ways to support you in this work. Looking for ways to support you in the energetic piece and the business piece, in the marketing piece and the ideal customer success signature piece. You will not find a coach that can help you with the holistic view that we deliver in this program. You can't find a business coach that will do that because they don't exist. They either are, well, they don't exist right now in the current world outside of us, right? So what you're experiencing is a coach that's going to tell you what to do. That's what most business coaches do. And usually they're very, very good. But they run into the exact same problem that the internet marketing programs do, that our program is a little bit different than. They give you a bunch of tactics. Well, you should do this. We've heard from so many times on the coaching calls. We've heard from so many people that say, well, my coach told me to do this, and it didn't feel right. It should be the right advice, right? It should be the right advice. It should be the perfect advice, right? But it's not, because they're using a set of experience that worked for them. Now, there are some of the odd coaches out there that just intuitively can tap in and don't know what they're doing. They don't know that they're doing it. They don't have a level of consciousness that they're doing it. And those are the ones that are just amazing, amazing coaches. And those are the ones that charge $7,000, $8,000, $1,000 an hour that is inaccessible to us. So we have created a 5-star resort experience and coaching for a hotel 8 price. To put it in context, what we've created is 3 levels of coaching where you will work one-on-one with our master coaches that I'm going to introduce you to in a moment. And these are coaches that will guide you through the program. And they will, what's so cool about having a coach is they can take your success signature and match it with the program and assist you in blossoming in the program in a way that can't be done completely on your own. Now, we're trying in every which way we can to give you as much support as we can. We've got this event. We've got our brand new Success Signature Labs where you can experience group coaching once a week, every week. And if you haven't registered for that, it's successsignature.com/SS Tribes. We've got a very special rate that's ending, I think, in 5 days, Mike? We've got 5 days left on that special rate. But what you get is 3 levels of coaching. It's a 14-month program if you choose to do it. No, what we're talking about now. Sorry, thanks. Success Signature Labs is just a monthly membership site that you pay for. So this is a little bit different. This is a, let me see what we call it. I want to make sure I got it right. It's a, it's not our certification program. We're calling it the private coaching. We're calling it Success Signature Private Coaching Program. It's actually in here, so you can read about it later, but let me tell you a little bit more about what it is. This is the Success Signature Private Coaching Program, okay? And level 1 and 2 gives you absolute private coaching. So you get to experience a one-on-one session with our master coaches who are being trained to work with you directly in the Success Signature model. The coaches that we've chosen, who I'll introduce in just a moment, but the coaches that we have chosen are living their Success Signature, and it's why we've chosen them. We've chosen them because they're really sound coaches in their own right, in different fields. They've been very, very successful in the businesses that they've been doing, but most importantly, they live and breathe their Success Signature, and they didn't even know it until they came across our program. And so what these coaches will do is give you the opportunity to be coached by them through the program. And we've got a couple of ways to participate. It's actually quite exciting because when I dream about you guys, you know, you guys are my thoughts and my dreams and my vision. You're my ideal customers. You're my mission. You're my mission. You're my mission. You're it. And I think about you all the time. And I think about, you know, just as we were talking about, you know, we're in this stage here. And when we kind of got to here, we realized, wow, how can we really make sure that these Success Signature folks will truly go from the close together, big, ugly ups and downs of those spirals, right? To move from the one on the right, to the one on the left, where there's these big jumps and then little spirals, and then big jumps and little spirals, like the spiral on the left, right. Thank you. So that's the opportunity and we think it's actually private coaching that does it. And we don't only think it, we know it. Because it's what worked for me. It's what's worked for Mary. It's what's worked for pretty much any successful business person on this planet has a coach or a mentor of some kind. And the ones that have paid for coaching are the ones that are accelerating. There's a couple things that happen when you have private coaching. What happens is, first of all, this thing happens. There's an acceleration that happens. And when you go through the circle, you have someone with their hand right on your back that you can turn to and say, wow, I don't know what I'm doing now, or I've lost faith, or you know, I did a launch and it didn't work. Now what, right? Every single person in this room is going to do a launch that didn't work, without exception. There's not one of you that won't. I've done dozens, dozens of launches that didn't work. But what I have is a coach. So I have a coach that I can turn to and say, hey, Max Simon, who's in Module 9, he's a coach that I pay, how much, some crazy, $1,700 an hour to, right? And I turn to him when I need him for very, very specific things. I turn to him and say, look, I really need some assistance in figuring out this whole affiliate model. There's nuances of the affiliate system that I just don't know. You need a coach to help you with the I don't know what I don't know part, right? And they're going to know what you don't know, and they can point you in a direction, like Max does for me. You know, when I'm having challenges with the more emotional part of my life, with the things that are challenging, I turn to Mary. And Mary helps me with those. When I'm having challenges with business problems and leadership issues, I have Mary Kay. I have a stable of freaking coaches that are propping me up on this stage right now. I say this all the time. I could have run this business without them. I have a lot of skill sets, I have a lot of experience, a lot of passion, but it would have been really ugly. And not nearly as successful, truly, not nearly as successful. I'd be sitting where you're sitting if I didn't have a coach. Not that where you're sitting is bad, because I sat there not too long ago. Okay, I'm going to remove myself from that conversation because I just put you all down. Did you like it? How was that for you? How's my pitch going?
Can I say something about the
Please,
success?
please. Mary Kay saving the day again!
No, not really. I just want to say something about what I think is unique about the Success Signature coaching model is that sometimes when you have a coach, the coach will give you the experiences that they have, and they'll give you the prescription, do this and do this and do this and do this. And you'll be able to go as far with that coach as either that coach has gone or as far as those tactics work for you. What's unique about what Jen has created, and some of what I think is so amazing about it, is that because the Success Signature coaches will be blending your success signature and who you are with this model, really healthy model of how to run a business. By the marriage of those two things will happen. First, out of it will come the things that work for you in the demographic you're serving, in the ideal customer you're working with, in the industry and business that you're in. And because it's all flowing through your success signature, you will make that your own in a way that those skill sets will now become part of who you are. And so your capacity to keep self-propelling yourself will deepen with each application and each thing that you work through with that coach, because it's the marriage of you with the business practices that are going to propel you forward in a very different way than other coaching programs.
Yeah, and the fact that we are so focused on that, and we're so focused also on the energetic aspect, which very few coaches can hold a space for and support you in. So let me tell you about how it works. Okay, so there's 3 levels to this. There's level 1, which is essentially assisting you with volume 1 of the Success Signature program, essentially. So you can kind of go through it together. Now, having a coach creates a different dynamic in your business, in part because there's a level of accountability. This is why athletes have coaches, right? These coaches are, you can consider your Success Signature coach a performance coach, right? They're helping you with course corrections. They're helping you with nuances. They're pointing you in directions in the I don't know what I don't know areas, right? And level 1 will help you get through the program in a completely different way. So even if you've been through the program once, it'll get you through the program in a completely different way because there'll be a level of accountability. There'll be nuances that you need help with, that you need someone holding your hand with through the program that will make it a very, very different experience. I mean, there's no one here that doesn't need to come up to the stage right now, right? To get a little bit of extra assistance. That's what a coach can do for you. So level 2 then is essentially volume 2. Level 2 will walk you through volume 2, which is, oh man, volume 2. Seriously, I have to tell you, I have a favorite among my babies. Volume 2 is my favorite. Oh, it's so juicy. And it really is this, the left-hand side of this thing. It really is the place of leverage, of moving into a place of space and compassion and possibilities, and the instruments that we give you in volume 2 are amazing. And having a coach support you in volume 2, oh my gosh, because it's nuanced work, volume 2 is. I mean, there's some amazing, excuse me, I think I was allergic to something at lunch. There's something really fundamental in volume 2 because we have a lot of case studies that really guide you to some serious tactical things that happen in spot coaching too. But then there's all this juicy, nuanced work that having a coach with their hand on your back, guiding you and holding you when you fall can make a huge, huge difference. And then, so that the level 1 is 4 months of one-on-one personal coaching. One-on-one personal coaching, I'm not kidding about that. It's a coach with you.
How often do you have access to the coach?
You're gonna get 8 one-hour sessions, and you're gonna get 2 group coaching sessions, small intimate groups, 3 to 5 people, and then you're gonna get a group coaching with me. Okay, so that's what you get over the course of 4 months. And then then in level 2, you get the exact same thing. And then, and level 3 is really cool. Level 3, if you choose to do it, you don't have to do all 3 levels, but if you do all 3 levels, you actually become a certified success signature coach. You become a certified success signature coach. One second. And what that means is that you're going to have a logo on your website, a certified success signature coach logo on your website, telling people that you're certified in this really cool thing, and we'll give you some wonderful materials to post on your site, brochures and stuff like that that you can use in your programs and services. And we'll also be posting on our website, all the coaches that are certified coaches. You get it? So we're going to start filling your practices. Now, it's not like you're going to instantly have your practices filled. That's not exactly what's going to happen, so I want to set expectations. But it's going to be one of those things that if someone's in our program and is looking for a regional coach or looking for a coach, your name's going to be front and center, especially if you're this first group that goes through. You're going to be front and center as one of these success signature coaches. That's level 3. So level 1 is you get, and in level 3 you also get private one-on-one coaching for your own business. So, but you're also going to learn how to coach people in this model. So what's so cool too about level 3 is that you're going to learn how to teach teachers. Okay, so that's part of what you'll learn. This is an invaluable thing. I can hardly wait to take level 3. I'm just kidding. But that's what she does. But you're going to learn how to be the coach with this program and coach people how to live the success signature business. So a lot of you will likely be drawn to that to start with because you're naturals. Did you hear all the wonderful advice that was given in this room? Right? You're already starting to play there. And now you can be official. So, Shafali, yes.
Okay, so number 1, I'm totally sold.
Okay.
I'm going for level 3, okay?
Yay!
My question, because I'm in Canada, is there a requirement to have in-person sessions, like live, like this?
No,
Okay, so
no,
yeah,
it's
I'm
100%
sold.
virtual, but you can't do it in Canada, sorry. Next. Just kidding. I'm Canadian, I can do that, right?
I was looking at the bonuses already, because I'm already way ahead of you there.
Yeah. What are the bonuses? Oh yeah, there's lots of Shivali, would you share with us what the bonuses are?
I just want to say, I want bonus number 5. I want to be one of the 5 first people to sign up because I want to get that bonus.
Okay, let's talk about this. Where are the bonuses?
On the very back page.
Oh, it's the last page.
Well, no, before the payment page.
You'll find it.
Oh, okay, today only bonuses. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We want, it's basically a get it today kind of thing, okay? And here's what you get if you purchase today. Okay, so first of all, anyone who has purchased Success Signature, and this is true for those who are online as well, anyone who has purchased Success Signature at all, whatever you've paid so far for your Success Signature program, we're going to remove from the cost of level 1, or if you choose, there's 3 options to actually purchase this. You can purchase level 1 alone, you can purchase level 1 and level 2 together, or you can purchase all 3 today. And there's some bonuses for doing that. So bonus number 2 is, okay, so here's the other thing. If you join today for our Success Signature program, you will automatically get 6 months free of our Success Signature Labs membership site, and that is a $350 value right there. So you're going to get 6 months free. of Success Signature, where essentially you get to work with me in a group coaching environment every week with our guest coaches, Mike, Jessica, Mary Kay, myself, Mary, Derek Rydell, and we've got a new one, Nancy Marmolejo, who's a freaking amazing coach. I mean, ridiculously crazy good. She's a messaging coach. She's one of the best messaging coaches I've ever worked with. She's astonishingly good. So she's joining the membership site as well. So you get 6 months. And the first 5 people who join today will get a 90-minute session with me. A 90-minute phone session with me. So 90 minutes with me about your business as a coach.
So article in the group.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's gonna be with me and Mary together. Actually, that's a much better deal. Because Mary has this crazy capacity to tap into your success signature. So you're number 1.
I'm number 1.
You're number 1. Who's number 2?
Okay, we're not bidding.
Okay, we're not doing that. Gotta get a 2, get a 2, get a 2, 2 over there, 2, no.
And the online people can be in.
The online people are also included. So how do they do this online, Mike?
They click the link in their email.
Click the link in your email. So go online, folks, go to your email, click the link in your email, and you can register on the online page. Right? Okay, good. And it's just for today only. By end of day today, you basically have to decide and join us. And if you do, and there's payment plans too for this too. So yeah, please.
And I just want to, in case it isn't blatantly obvious to everyone, that Jen is so living in each of you. So those of you in the room, those of you on the,
Streaming.
yeah, that word. Can tell what I don't do.
They're getting insulted by being in the box.
I'm so sorry, you streaming people out there in the world.
I'm not in a box, damn it!
I keep wondering how they all got in there. Not really that
That's
dumb.
funny.
But one of the things that Jen so lives in serving the people who are committed to their success signatures, that the coaching program really became out of that desire to serve and to coach you. And it came out of even what we're seeing very early on in the community, in the online community, is that the level of coaching that can be provided in a once-a-week group setting is helpful, but it's not enough for the acceleration for who you are and what you have to give to the world to make your mark. And so that's really the place that this comes from. And it's just a really great illustration of how when you are in your success signature, when you're tapped into serving your customer, the concepts for the products that will most serve your customer, they'll come through to you. And it's just a great example of that, I think.
Thank you, yeah. It's the most wonderful thing I've ever experienced to be consciously aware of my success signature and consciously aware of my ideal customers. And when I started teaching this is when I became consciously aware of it. The coolest thing about being an entrepreneur is when you create your products, you become it. More and more and more. You live it more and more and more. And so when I started teaching this is when I started realizing, first of all, how valuable my coaches were. I kind of took them a little bit for granted, and now I get how powerful they are. And I also got to see, once again, how important how can I assist so many entrepreneurs who really need a coach, that's truly what they need, but really need a coach in a system that honors them in the process. Really need a coach in a system that honors their customers. Really need a coach that honors them in the emotional process of becoming an entrepreneur and the craziness that can happen, and how to use the entrepreneurial life as a catalyst for personal change. And how can we support people in this in a way that gives personal coaching? And we did it by finding 3 master coaches who are the success, I'm gonna get emotional, I'm so excited. And they're in this room. No. The 3 amazing master coaches who are already living their success signatures, who are going to become your coaches, who are going to become your hand at the back, your rudder, if you will, for moving through your business in a way that just can't be done with an 18-module video program. The 18-module video program will get you a long way, no question about it. But I knew that the missing ingredient was one-on-one coaching. And so we created a program, again, a 5-star program at a Hotel 8 price. Maybe not quite Hotel 8, but. So I want to introduce you. Matt, can you pass me my iPad? I want to introduce our coaches. So would Julie and Linda and Joel come and sit up here, please, for a moment? These pages. We put a call to our Success and Nurture community to be part of our Master Coach program. So we are calling, at the end of level 3, you will be certified Success and Nurture coaches. And these are the master coaches that are going to get you there. And I'd like to introduce you to them. So first of all, Linda, if you're in the volume 2 at all, you've seen Linda, you've already met Linda. Linda was part of our $50,000 coaching program that resulted in the video series called Living Your Success Signature Business, Volume 1 and Volume 2. I'd like to do a shout out to Kristen as well. She's not a master coach yet, but she is a master coach in her own right in Godaliciousness. Which is her wonderful brand, and you will have seen her as well in our program. She was also part of the $50,000 coaching program. Linda is she is incredibly practical, incredibly powerful, ridiculously passionate, and she's a really amazing coach in her own right. She's pretty much without exception, her clients, when she works with them, expand their businesses and their profitability in huge ways. 3,000% increase in profitability. She's taken 2,000. For you, it'll be 3.
Absolutely. We're still growing. They continue to grow.
She's Sigma.
Lean Six Sigma black belt.
Lean
Six Sigma
black belt. And basically, she came from big corporate IT. And it's amazing because she's someone who lives her success signature and did it in corporate America. She's one of those people that her bosses would scratch their heads and say, "We don't know how you do it, but you get results and your people are happy." Strange, but amazing. And she, as a result, went really quickly through the ranks in corporate America, and she was promoted to the global leadership position where she was able to bring together teams of hundreds of people from across the globe to work on the most important projects for the companies that she worked for. This is a woman who really got it done and then decided that her success signature was going to move into serving smaller businesses and small business owners rather than the big corporations. So she went on her own and built a 7-figure consulting business, right? Helping businesses grow and become leaders in their own right. And again, she knew instantly as soon as she joined our program, and then we knew instantly that she would be such a fabulous coach. One of our master coaches in our new coaching program was that Success Signature was tapping into the unique human potential, the gifts. And so Linda brings her remarkable gifts to our master program. And again, all 3 of these folks will be teaching Success Signature, volumes 1 and volume 2, and then level 3, how to become a teacher. So they're gonna teach you how to teach. And they're gonna teach you to become Success Signature coaches. So that's Linda. Linda, would you stand up? Mary, can I have your glasses?
You should be in big.
Never mind. Woof. Magic. Joel Bagley. Joel, I want to stand up for a second. Joel. Joel was very successful marketing and business consultant. He worked through, he advised very, very big companies in marketing presentations and was very successful in it, but his heart wasn't in it. So then, you know, as often happens with many people who are really living their success signature, life shows up. Life shows up and nudges us into what our real success signature is. And in Joel's case, life showed up in spades, in a very low point in his family with his son's addictions. But through that, I'm gonna get emotional here again. Woo! He found his success signature purpose. And what he's done for 11 years is empower entire families to heal, and in the process, clean up addiction in families. His success signature is so strong that he and his former drug-addicted son have built a very, very successful recovery program. Now, successful recovery is not often a word that can happen in this industry, and yet he has figured it out. And giving to those that are in a place that he used to be. And that's a big part of the success signature, isn't it? Which is our ideal clients are us and where we were. And so he lived it. He lived this. He's been so successful in service through this program that's been running in partnership. He and his son are partners. His son is the CEO. He's the money man, quote unquote. That serendipitously, say that 3 times fast, his recovery program came to the attention of McKinsey Group. Now, have you ever heard of the McKinsey Group? It is one of the business consultants, right? One of the largest business consultants on the planet. I mean, just an enormously successful company that actually does investigates and researches different sectors. So they're researching this recovery sector. And McKinsey Corp did a study of the recovery industry and used Joel's program as a benchmark, as the gold standard for how to generate income in the recovery program and support and actually have people that recover very successfully. So he was recognized by McKinsey, for gosh sakes, out of nowhere. So just like Cynthia's message last night, and like the whole success signature model, Joel has been about being of service. And because he stayed in his success signature and used his really fantastic business skills that he called in corporate America, he developed his first career loop, right? That loop. He's made his mark. He's made his mark in an arena that matters most deeply to him. And now he's in his next loop. And building new products and services in his recovery business. So that's part of what he's going to be doing professionally, is using the success signature model to reach a broader audience, use the gold standard of his business to reach a much bigger audience with recovery products. And he's going to be joining us as a master success signature coach, helping you to build your business to get recognized by McKinsey. Imagine, he's going to help you to build your business to be recognized as the gold standard in your industry. Now, who wouldn't want to coach with that guy, right? So he's our next success signature coach. And I think the other thing that Joel offers is a capacity to really understand how to live your success signature through great stress, and how to be motivated by your life, and use the gifts inside of you that are squeezed out through life experiences to build an incredibly successful business that gets recognized by McKinsey. I wish I could get recognized by McKinsey. He's going to teach me how later.
You taught me how.
Oh, there you go. I'll take that. I'll take that. Thank you. Joel Bagley. Julie Valentine. Am I saying it right tonight? Julie Valentine. This is, her name is on purpose. There's great love and support in this amazing woman. Julie is an incredibly successful real estate person in Sedona. She is like, what, top 5% in the region?
It is
3 to 4%, right? So Julie continues to deepen her success signature, and for all three of them, this master coaching program allows them to kind of start their new loop. I never thought I'd be looking down the nose at my glasses at people. I feel like my grandma. Oh God, aging is great. So she actually first tapped into her success signature. She's done a couple of right angles in her career. And we love right angle people because it means they have a lot of experience in different trades, in different industries, and different ways of doing business. And that's what Julie has done. She first tapped into her success signature in the industry of organic farming, where she came to understand the concept of divine timing, of flow, of sacred pace, and the importance of fit as we balance both the being and doing of success signature. Because, man, you have to be flexible when you're a farmer. I mean, anything can happen. So having someone as your coach who has actually run an organic farm business is like, wow, is like such a crazy opportunity, because you're going to get someone who truly, like you said, understands divine timing, understands the pace of life, understands how nature is a partner and not an adversary, which sometimes it seems like the market can be an adversary. And I think Julie really understands. And real estate's tough, man. I mean, she's been doing real estate and 3 and 4% in the biggest down market, when you've been doing it the most, right? Is in the biggest down market. So this woman knows how to play with adversity. Holy crap. From her success in this industry, she began to see her special gifts in the areas of being grounded and safe and empathetic in navigating continual change, from the change of seasons to the change of life. In the next circle of her life, Julie ran a successful small service business from which she learned what it takes to marry your success signature with partners who align or don't align with your values. So tell me a little bit more about that. I don't think I know about that business.
That was probably the one with Mac's husband. So what alignment was really blowing him his passion and bringing it forth. What we unaligned with was choosing the wrong marketing partners. So if you have the opportunity to go through Jen's CEO segment, she's going, don't do this, and I was like, did it. Right. So you have to be really careful in those arenas, and we learned an awful lot about choosing the right partners and then just knowing ourselves and our own strengths. We underestimated our own strengths, really, is what happened.
Right. So doing it, yes. Okay, got it. So, what's so cool about all three of these coaches, and Julie right now in particular, is that through their experience, they learned what not to do. And then in turn, how to come up with a solution out of learning what not to do. That's one of the reasons all three of them are sitting here as our master coaches, because they used the experience to not stop them. They used that experience to propel them. And that's what we think is so important in coaching. That's why these guys are going to be ridiculously great success signature coaches for you. because they know how to support you in continuing when it doesn't work and making it grow faster when it does. You get it? Julie is now, let's see, out of this experience, she went through significant personal transitions, moving from rural Minnesota to Sedona. Those two communities are very similar. And then she moved going into Success Signature. She built a highly successful business helping people through their own life purpose and work transitions. Isn't that cool? In this, she created a unique Success Signature business model where she gives in service and support, helping people navigate the life transition to authenticity and being grounded in their essence, and also providing them with the grounding on planet Earth, what they need in a home and residence. So the reason why she's top 3 and 4% is because she's a life coach for transition. Because when people are moving to Sedona, it's an enormous transition, isn't it? It's a huge transition. You're not going there to work at the plant. There's no plant. There's plants. And so she supports and nurtures in a way that allows for an expansion, and that's why she's such a great coach, because she already knows how to help people in transition, which every entrepreneur is always in. And so now she's creating her new circle of the Circle of Life loop, and giving her next adventure is with us and with you, guiding you to transition authentically and running a small business. And so as you can see, each one of them have some really unique capacities, really unique abilities, and we are just so honored and blessed that they are our master coaches that are going to guide each of you with a beautiful hand, supported and safe and sacred hand at your back, to move through the program in a way that will accelerate you and make those circles of life a little smaller, but the jumps between them much, much, much faster. So thank you, Julie. Well, go ahead, stand up. So again, if you join us today, the first 5 people will get a 90-minute session with me and Mary. You'll also get 6 months as part of the Success Signature program, and you'll also get whatever you paid so far for Success Signature off. And that will apply to whichever option you choose. So again, let me just get that price. Did you have something to share while I look at the pricing here?
I was actually going to start transitioning us.
Okay. That's what she's into. So there's option 1 is level 1, and that's the 4-month program. It's this product, if you want to take a look. And you can pay in full, or you can do 3 monthly payments. Option 2 is for 8 months, and I just want to share with you that this is less than $1,000 a month for one-on-one coaching. It's really hard to get that out there. And then on top of that you've got these amazing professionals here with the Success Signature program, using actually that as a model, emotional support and business support. So level 2 is we're actually going to give you a monthly payment plan for that one. We decided that was probably going to be easier on most of you, so you can pay over a course of 8 months for that 8-month program. And then option 3, you can pay over 14 months if you choose. But you have to join today in order to get those payment options. The other 2 things I wanted to talk to you about are, we've got 2 other programs, which is option 4 and option 5. One is a 3-day program where we decided that the work we did with the $50,000 group was so cool. And I didn't want to do another 6-month program with it. We felt the new coaching program would be more effective and efficient. There aren't as many people that can do spend $50,000. So we thought we'd take the best of that program, married it with the 18-module Success Signature program, and do a 3-day weekend. So that 3-day weekend is not $50,000. It's actually normally $12,000, and we're going to give you a $2,000 discount if you are interested in doing it today. So if you want to register by midnight tonight, again, there's a payment plan on that. So that's going to be a very intimate group coaching program, which is between 5 and 10 people, And over the course of 3 full days, we're gonna be working together, going through the program, and working one-on-one with each of you in your own businesses. So that's a powerful thing. And if you really, 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 really wanna work with me, you can do so. And again, we've reduced the price considerably. It used to be $25,000, we reduced it to 20, and for today only, it's $15,000. You can have a half day, just me and you, and the team. You don't just get me, you get Mary Kay and Mary and Mike and Jessica, and the whole team. You've got 5 people that can work with you for a half day. This is what I do with Max, most of the time. I usually take a half day with Max, it costs me $20,000, and by the time we're done, we're on a whole different tangent. I mean, it isn't just that gap, it's the whole page gap if you do a half day with me. If that's something that's in the cards, and for most of you, that might be next year or the year after. That might be next year when you're mid 6 figures in your business, and you're moving to 7 figures. That jump is likely the time when you want to work with me in a half day session. So for some of you, some of you online, you might already be there. And it's again, it's one of the coaching models I use. I go to Max, I have someone else I go to that I do that with. Rich, I've got 3 people actually that I will go to. Sam as well. Sam Horn is someone who I also do that model with. I do a half day with her for about the same amount of money that we're offering this. And those things create, in fact, my work with Sam Horn, we did a full day with Sam Horn, resulted in the name and the brand of this program. That's where it came from. So these sessions are invaluable to really take you from here to this just enormous jump. And then you have this backup material, and you have a personal coach potentially to continue to support. And of course, if you are in our private coaching program and you decide to do a half day with me, we will fly your coach out so that they will spend a half day as well. So we'll do that. We'll pay you guys for your time, and we'll bring them out. I just decided in this moment that will happen.
That's what your customers needed.
Yeah, it's what our customers need. So if you are part of our private coaching program, we will fly your coach in for the half day session with me so that they're in alignment with what we're talking about, and they can give us some background information too. And what's so cool about the half day and the full day is that we actually do research in advance with you and for you. So you give us we're going to have you fill out a questionnaire for the half day program. We're going to have you fill out a questionnaire for the 3-day program, so that we know who you are before you get there. We're already going to have to pre-researched it. We're already going to have done a little bit of trend research for you. We're already going to have looked at your market, what you're up to, what your brand looks like now, so we can change it. No, just kidding. So that we can support you in any changes that and coaching that we can do. Excuse me, I'm sorry. So, how are you guys doing with this? Yeah, do you have any questions at all about the programs or anything that we're up to? What do you think about the coaching program? Yes, go ahead.
If we do the private coaching program, is it like luck of the draw, or is it all 3 of them as a master?
Oh, that's a really good question.
Or is it-
I don't know the answer. What's the answer?
So you will be one of the coaches that you'll be working with, and based on your application, where we can sense you are in your journey, we'll match you with the coach that's gonna optimally serve you. And we are also supporting the coaches in their coaching, so you'll have, even though your primary interface will be the coach you're working with, you'll have the support of the whole team behind you.
Yeah, so they're going to be working with us.
Okay.
So, you know, we'll definitely be hearing about you
Okay.
as they work with you. Any other questions? Okay. Mary, did you have something to add? I can hear you.
Well, I was just gonna say, and if you're like, if you super connect with somebody, say, you know, I have a preference, what about such and such?
Yeah, yeah, and
It's
we'll
always an option too.
Yeah, yeah.
We sometimes are drawn to certain individuals, and, you know, if you're in the first, you know, handful of people, you got a good choice, a good possibility.
Yeah, now's the time to join the program truly. Now is the time, because
Exactly.
you know, next year at this time, you know, we anticipate something really different. So, yeah.
So obviously, for the personal one-on-one coaching, it's gonna be when we're available,
Yep.
right? Because, you know, I was talking to Mary, I was talking to Hall about the lab coaching that you do.
Right, right.
And I can in
Right.
the evening when I have my show.
Got it.
So these calls are coaching.
Yeah, you work absolutely directly with them to schedule it so that it works, yeah. It's your personal coach. Yep. Absolutely.
It's a mutual arrangement.
Yeah. Yep. Great, well, thanks for letting us share our new program. This is the first time we talked about it and shared about it. It just feels like a real release and relief. So for those online, again, is there a URL we can direct them to, Mike?
Yes.
I think it's successsignature.com. Coaches, successsignature.com/coaches, successsignature.com/coaches. And all the specials, the special pricing ends tonight, the extra bonuses ends tonight, so it's kind of a now commitment. No. Okay, we're gonna move on. Thank you. Yes?
And, you know, if you guys are having any kind of questions, you know, get with Jennifer, get with Mary Kay.
Oh, yes,
get with me.
absolutely.
Anybody that's
On the
got
break,
questions,
we're happy to,
you
yeah.
know, will it work for this, will it work for that? Hey, we're here, we want to support you.
Yeah.
We are so thrilled that you're actually.
Yeah, and that's why we came up with this program, because we are so thrilled at what you guys are up to. Those people who are being drawn into the Success Signature program are the next generation of entrepreneurs that's going to change this whole gosh darn business model. And we want to support you at the very highest levels, and that's why we have these master coaches here.
Can I say something
Please.
about that? It's one of the things that I see so much is that we're starting to see the place where the organizations running in the old model, they are the dinosaurs. And that when you look at the engagement data, it doesn't matter if you look at, you know, Harvard Business Review or USA Today, the engagement data about the way most people work in this country and in much of the first world is about 30% of engagement. Which means if we were a baseball team, it would be like you had 3 people on the team playing, and you had another 3 people who were not caring about the game at all, and you probably had a couple people on your team that were actually trying to help the other team win. And that's really,
And one guy looking at porn.
yeah. I've heard about it. Mike shuts down his browser. And so it's really a no-brainer that when you're operating in your Success Signature and when you're learning how to invite other people who are part of either your team directly or your vendors and partners to be in their Success Signatures, like there's just no comparison, because all of the people on your team are going to be playing for that declaration, that vision, those shared values that you have. And there's just no way at which, particularly with what's possible today with the ubiquitous technology, with the networked world that we're in, there's no way those Success Signature businesses aren't going to dramatically outperform other businesses. And that's some of what I think is so exciting about this time, is that back to the pioneers, that the reason we're so passionate about this is supporting you as the pioneers, because you are the 4 leaders. You are the ones who are going to create this new world, and we want to support and serve you in doing that in whatever way we can. And one of the ways that we know that we can do that is that there's something that we'd like to share now, which is not actually in the product directly, but is something that we've seen come up in the coaching that we've already been doing around having a big vision and some of the reality that comes out when you've got that. And so we'd like to transition now into sharing this content, and then we'll be moving it into an exercise for you to apply it in your Success Signature business. So I'm going to let Jen take it over, and then we'll pull it back to some exercises for you to apply in your business.
Great. Big vision. There's no one here that doesn't have a big vision. You wouldn't be drawn to the Success Signature program if you didn't have a big vision. And sometimes the challenge is that the big vision doesn't match the skill set. The big vision doesn't match the experience of taking a vision and making it big. And so one of the things that happens is we get a little bit lost on the journey. And we go for something in a stubborn way. We kind of stubbornly stick to something that, that might not work, and mostly because we're not really in our success signature, we're in our mind. Where most people go awry in their big vision is they start going into their mind-oriented, we've got to do this, okay? So have you ever been in a room with business people, internet marketers, whatever it is, and they said, you don't know how to do this? You mean you're not doing this, right? Have you ever been in that situation? And you go, I mean, it still happens to me. Mike, calms me down. Like, Mike, we're not doing this! Oh my God! And he goes, Jen, we're doing it like this, though. It's like, oh, okay. So we can do that in our whole business, right? We can do that in our whole business. I had a crazy experience with lots and lots of entrepreneurs around this. So many of them that are headed in this direction of like, this is what I'm doing, okay? So the fundamental questions that you want to ask are, what's in it for your customers? What's in it for your partners? How are they going to benefit from it? We've already had this conversation, right? We had it with in our last coaching session up here, spa coaching session. And it's so easy to get lost in the passion of, I'm just going to do this. I've seen people go through their life savings for a website that didn't make any sense. Anyone with even a smidgen of common sense could look at it and say, that's not going to work, right? But they're in it, and they're stubbornly driving through it right off a cliff, which I have seen over and over and over and over again with big visions. So, How to Not Go Off a Cliff by Jennifer McLean. Tap into your ideal customers. Put your declaration together. Put your vision and mission and principles together. Those are living, breathing documents that allow you to know when something is in alignment or not. When a tactic comes along, you're at a networking meeting and some guy tells you, oh my God, I can't believe you're not doing this. Go home and look at your vision, your mission, your principles. Tap into your success signature and your ideal customer, and you'll know immediately if this is okay. You'll know immediately if you need to spend one more dime of your life savings, or if there's another way. I had someone talking about putting together a store for crystals, right? And her argument was, there's 40 years of history in this industry. It's a completely untapped market. And my thought was, it's a 40-year-old industry. It's completely tapped, right? But what we get this thing about, I want to start a crystal store. Well, do you have money for inventory? Do you have money for 6 months worth of inventory while you build up your business? These fundamental basic questions it's like there's, okay, so let's just do a little process right now, if you would. Okay, you don't have to put your stuff down or anything. Just tap into your success signature right now, okay? There we go. And we're gonna that's it. Good, gosh, it all went right there. And I want you to there's a little part of you that is Mr. Common Sense of your mastery. Okay, I want you to meet Mr. Common Sense. Okay, so just tap in and meet Mr. Common Sense of your mastery. There. Real practical, down to earth, and still kind of fun, but a little accountish-like. Accountish, a little bit like an accountant, a little dry, but, good sense of humor. Right? So right now, with any one tactic or strategy that you're applying, just that you're wondering about, that you might be there's a little nervousness about it, right? That nervousness of, oh my God, am I doing the right thing? just tap into Mr. Common Sense, and what do they say? Just ask them a question right now. Can anyone give me an example of what a question they're gonna ask Mr. Common Sense? Anyone give me an example?
Signing up for the coaching program?
Signing up for the coaching program. No, not an example. The answer is an unadulterated yes. Yes. Yeah, okay, let's use that. Let's use it. So tap into Mr. Common Sense. Tap into Mr. Common Sense. And what does Mr. Common Sense say about joining the coaching program? I mean, listen, this energy is like common frickin' sense, isn't it? Can you feel it? It's like, and it's kind of like you can kind of trust this energy. So, and if it's a no, then it's a no, right? And even for the coaching program, or for anything that we offer for that matter, right? We want to be of service. We don't want you to buy something. Do you get the difference? Okay, we want you to be, we are here to be of service. So for any of our programs, you tap into Mr. Common Sense and see what they say. But that Mr. Common Sense, or Mrs. Common Sense, it feels like a masculine energy for some reason, is actually there to give you questions to ask yourself. Like, if I didn't know what the questions were to start a crystal shop, what would those questions be? Mr. Common Sense can give you the questions to ask. Like, will I have inventory? Do I have enough money to have inventory for 6 months that if I don't sell that inventory, I won't go bankrupt, right? Common sense. What is my market? You know, stuff we did with you today. You know, and I'm pointing at the yoga lady, Tracy, the Bikram yoga person. So, you know, what's the market? What's the ideal customer? Right? Those things will overcome any of those barriers, any of those upsets. And another thing that will overcome it is really understanding what your objectives are, what your strategies are, what your tactics are, and what your action items are out of the tactics. And in our Success in Nature program, it's in volume 2.
It's in both volumes.
Did I get one?
No, I have them all. I'm hogging.
She's hogging them. You guys got this. Did anyone bring their package from that were on the chair? Yeah, it's this one here.
I have extras.
So if you don't have one of these, on the chairs when you came yesterday, you were given a package. It's in that package, and if you don't have it, we've got extras. Just can you raise your hand if you don't have this? And for those that are online, Mike, do we have a way for them to access this?
They should have it.
They should have it? Okay.
We emailed it.
Okay, so we emailed you this, so go to your email and grab this for the folks who are streaming online. Did we have any questions, by the way, about the coaching program from folks online, Mike?
We do have a customer.
So that's 2 spots.
2 spots taken, 3 left.
Another thing that you can ask, so in a minute we're going to set you up to go through this exercise, and another thing that you can tap in and ask Mr. or Ms. Common Sense is who can best support me in answering and asking the tough questions inside this strategy map. And that's another way to start to get access to, because this will actually force you to put out on a piece of paper in front of you what your strategy and tactics are, and having someone, whether it's a coach or someone else that Mr. Common Sense tells you will help you, having someone to ask those really pointed questions will help you see the gaps in your thinking in this. And so that's what we're going to do now, is have you go into and complete this, and then we're going to use this as a launching pad for some more coaching this afternoon.
Yeah, so you're gonna bring this to me to do a little bit more spot coaching with the folks who we're going to do some spot coaching with. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about what each of these are again, just as a reminder, because I know that you've all filled this out already as part of your Success in Nature program, right? No. Okay. So the big, hairy, audacious intentions on the right can be a starting point if you like, or your objectives can be a starting point, okay? So big, hairy, audacious intentions are like the big things like, oh my God, you know, I'm gonna do this. I remember Linda and I were talking about this, and she said, you know, I'm gonna do 7 figures by the end of the year. And I said, no, that's not big and hairy. That's doable, right? Big and hairy is like on the verge of seeming impossible. Big and hairy is, you know, I'm gonna make $7 million in the next 2-3 years. That was her big, hairy, audacious intention. There's a couple of reasons for that, and Mary, I might get your assistance with this, but to make sure I have the language right, because this is big, hairy, audacious intentions is kind of Mary's territory, because what it creates is this big field of pull. It pulls you towards it energetically. Did I get that right? It pulls you towards it, right? So it kind of beckons you forward to the big, hairy, audacious intentions. When Mary's playing in her client's abundance, she's playing at these crazy, crazy levels. Like when she started playing with mine, it was in the, you know, I was still in 6 figures, and she was playing with 7 figures. And then she played with 8 figures. And then she's playing with, you know, mid to high 8 figures, right? So, and then we're playing in 9 figures. So I'm nowhere close to that, you know, in reality. But that's creating this pull, vibrational energy. So we want to make it big and hairy and audacious. And it used to be called Big, Hairy, Audacious Goals. I'm not an enormous fan of goals. I think intentions allow us to have a lot more freedom. Yeah.
Nick?
Yeah.
How is that creating pull without pressure?
I have no idea.
Can
No,
I
I'm
say
just kidding.
something?
That's a really good question, actually. It's a really good question. And it's an interior process. So big, hairy, audacious intentions are big, hairy, and audacious on purpose. There's 0 pressure in them. 0. Because there's a part of us that doesn't believe we can do it. That's why they're
no
big and
pressure, 'cause
hairy.
we don't believe we can do it.
Yeah, big, hairy, and audacious.
But aren't we just gonna beat ourselves up? I can do that.
Well, you could if you wanted to.
Yeah, I could.
Yeah. But is it okay if I just finish this
Yeah.
thought? Thanks. But let's just play with the thought that a big, hairy, audacious intention gives you freedom. Would you be willing to play with that?
Oh, yeah.
Right? So what if big, hairy, and audacious meant just that? Big, hairy, audacious intention. Right? So big, hairy, and audacious means like it could happen, but it might not. There's a good chance. It's just like, what if that happened? It's almost like winning a lottery. Right?
Oh.
Does winning a lottery, when you buy lottery tickets, do you get pressured?
I don't buy them because I don't figure out.
Okay, so, okay, that's a different conversation, but let's just say you bought a lottery ticket. Would you feel pressured?
No.
Okay, that's what a big, hairy, audacious intention is.
So it's just the internal pressure that I would put on myself to start panicking, how the fuck are you gonna do this?
Yeah. Yeah. So how the fuck are you gonna do this is a different conversation, right? This is a conversation that you could use some coaching with.
Yeah.
Like, really, it's, I mean, I can look at Mary's going, Mary's up. Has she talked to you yet?
No.
Okay. So, yeah, this is an abundance blocker, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just a little piece that you're ready to play with now. And what's cool is that you've got some conscious awareness around it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Siobhan?
I just wanna say one quick little thing.
Yeah.
I have taken the time to talk to Mary a couple of times now, and the advice and guidance she's given me has been invaluable.
Unbelievable, right?
Yeah.
Like crazy, like just
Has
crazy.
Shifted
Yeah.
my mind completely, shifted my energy, and
Yeah.
I just wanna say thank you, Mary, so much. I mean, I cry every time I talk to her,
I
because
know.
I'm just so grateful for
She's
that. So
she's amazing.
if you guys can, talk to Mary,
Yeah.
really, she's fantastic.
So, and what were you gonna say about it?
Oh, I was just gonna say that there are different kinds of pressure. So we started yesterday looking at the pressure that we put on ourselves and the pressure we can put on customers to buy things. And if you look at what we've talked about in the program, you can see that comes from scarcity and survival. It's pressure, and it's
Can we get
pressure of
that? Can we get that poster?
it's pressure of
The
the
pyramid?
mind. how am I gonna survive? How am I gonna look good? How, can you feel that that's that pressure? There's a different kind of, and I would say that that's pressure that takes us out of our success signature and into survival. So it takes us down here, which is fine. We need to get survival handled, but that's a different kind of pressure. Then there's also the kind of pressure that's required for a plane to take off. So if there wasn't the pressure of the air on the wings of the plane itself would never take off and fly. The same is true of a kite. There needs to be the pressure of the wind for a kite to fly. So for things to soar, there needs to be also some pressure, and that's what Mary's talking about, is this pressure that pulls us into the big, hairy, audacious intention. It's a completely different kind of pressure than the pressure of survival, I have to do this. And I can tell you, like, that right now they're collapsed. And that's the place where coaching, where Mary, where a coach can help you take something that is collapsed together and pull it separately so you can now start to feel, oh, this is the pressure of the mind around survival. Ah, that's what that is. Okay, I don't have to engage with that. Let me tap into my success signature. And here, I can feel the pull of a completely different kind of pressure to the expression of my soul to make its mark in the world, to the expression of my commitment to serving and giving to my customers.
That is so crazy freaking good. Isn't that amazing? Oh my God, that's so good. Have you ever said that before? Oh my God, that is so good. The pressure of the wings, the pressure on a kite, it's beautiful pressure, right? It's what makes things soar. So the pressure of our passion, the pressure of our big, hairy, audacious intention creates the wind under the wings of our entrepreneurial spirit. It's brilliant. Can you feel in your being right now that there's a different energy of pressure? You feel that in your system, right? Some pressure is good, right? What is those pressure tanks? They help heal things. You know those pressure tanks? What are they called? Do you know?
Oxygen? Is oxygen.
Those pressure, those tanks that take, when you have the bends, you go in there. But yeah, hyperbaric chamber. It's a pressure chamber, and people go in there to resolve cancer, to resolve, right? It's good pressure. So we don't want to eliminate pressure from our lives. We want to honor the pressure that elevates us and release the pressure of the mind-oriented conversations that deflate us. God, that was good. I love you so much. Oh my God, she's so good, isn't she?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm in awe. Oh, great grief. It's true, I am.
Me too.
Okay. Mutual awe club. Hang on a sec. Okay. Okay, so that's the big, hairy, audacious intentions. That's one aspect of the 10 on this page. So the next is your objectives, which are what I want to achieve. Okay, your objectives are what I want to achieve. What do I want to have had happen by the end? By the time I'm done, what's happened? Now, the objectives, you can have several objectives from one project, from one business, right? You can have the objective of, I want to make a lot of money. That can be a great objective. I want to generate X amount of dollars, right? I want to generate $5,000, $10,000, $15,000. This is different than a big, hairy, audacious intention. This is something you can actually do, okay? An objective could be, I want to be the standard in my industry. So when people, I want to be the Kleenex of XYZ, right?
I want to be the go-to person in Cleveland.
Yeah.
For people who want to be healthy, have adventure and fun, or whatever, right?
Whatever it is. Not just Bikram yoga, but, right, the influencer, okay? Objectives. Give me another objective.
So my objective is to have 10,000 people participating in my particular healing modality from around the world.
Right. My objective is to have 2 products, right? One coaching product and one online product that results from the coaching product, right? These are objectives, okay? So you can see the strategies are now become obvious, right? The strategies are, what am I going to do to accomplish this objectives? And we've got buckets of strategy, okay? So I'm going to create an online presence and do a sales funnel, right? These are strategies. The tactics are then the action items that fall out from that strategy. The strategy is I'm going to apply an online strategy. The online strategy now looks like a tactic, sales page, a tactic, opt-in page, a tactic, a sales funnel, a tactic, an email campaign, right? These are tactics that fall out of an online strategy. Does that make sense? Okay? So one of your strategies, Tracy, might be I'm going to create a hot mama, a hot beauty salon, right? What do we call it? Hot hairdresser program, right? So now what are the tactics for the hot hairdresser program? Well, I've got to reach out to salons, I've got to put together some materials for them, I've got to maybe put a page together, an online page together, right? You see that? That's the strategy and then the tactics. Does that make sense? So when you have this is Consulting 101. This is Marketing 101. You know this, right? This is, and we do it a slightly different way because we then have the big, hairy, audacious intentions at the end of it. Like, you're going to be a national representative for Bikram yoga in the United States, North America. That's a big, hairy, audacious intention, right? Because of the efforts you do in Ohio, you get noticed and start, do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is basic marketing and business planning. But we've done it in a way that allows you to really see it in a visual format. This is supposed to be a river with stepping stones. The river of your business. And poor Jessica tried this and tried that and tried this, and all of us had a different map in our head of what it would look like. And she said, what if I just do what it actually is? And she gave us this, and it works so beautifully. But these are stepping stones in the river of life. Yes?
I understand big, hairy, audacious intentions, I guess, sort of. I get the objectives, but I'm struggling with the difference between the two of them.
Oh, okay.
Can
So
you
objectives
clarify?
are accomplishable. You will actually do them. Big, hairy, audacious intentions are things that are on the verge of impossible. So one is
So they're like the objectives on steroids kind of thing, like.
kind
Kind
of
of like blown up in a balloon.
blown up in a balloon, just huge, enormous. And they're kind of an energetic thing, right? This is a little bit more energy, and this is a little more practical.
Practical,
This is
okay.
like getting her done, getting her done. This is like, wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be cool? Wouldn't it be wonderful? Imagine who I might be if. Imagine if this happened. What if? Is that right, Mary?
You really want to paint the picture on the intention side, the picture, the feeling, the energy. And it's not that you're trying to get that exact thing, but you're just trying to get the essence and the feel and the flow. And you want what you want over here. Remember last night how we were talking about being inspired? You want what's over here in the big, hairy, audacious intention to inspire your heart. And it may or may not look like where eventually the world looks like, because along the way a lot will get discovered, but it's like, what inspires you? What gets you up in the morning? You go, oh, I get to work on that! Oh my goodness, that's the world that I am.
So here's my big, hairy, audacious intentions about success signature. Okay, I'm just thinking of it now, okay? That we are in a stadium with 12,000 people, just like we're here now. We've got CNN and NBC News there, because they're just so crazy, weirded out about how so many entrepreneurs in North America have become so successful so quickly and are so happy. They're trying to crack the puzzle, right? So they've sent news reporters to figure this out, right? And we are generating massive changes in business that people are turning to us and see all of these are big, hairy, audacious. Do you see that? And do you see the energy that it's creating, You know, it's in me, it's creating like, yeah, wow. Okay, so there's another piece to this that.
And we just had the 40th village in Africa.
The 40th village in Africa just got built. And I wrote no, that's even bigger than that. I wrote a check for $10 million to Cynthia Kersey for her amazing Unstoppable Foundation. And she was at that event and raised another $10 million at that event. So this is another piece of this, which is, I'm realizing now, and again, this is something that was gonna happen to you and your businesses, and again, I want you to give you, the reason why this is here is to give you the flexibility to change. To know that at each stage, there's gonna be a new nuance. There's a nuance from these coming up right now. I'm sorry, I have a little catch in my throat. And that is the nuance of abundance. And I'm gonna kind of check this with Mary. The big, hairy, audacious intention will give you a feeling. They will give you a feeling. And the key is that feeling. So I'm really getting chills on this. So when you have that big, hairy, audacious intention, you've described it. You've described like all the aspects of it. That's why there's so many boxes, right? Now they might not exactly apply directly, right? Right? They might not apply. Yeah, there's not. This is not a super linear process, but there might be. I mean, this objective might be so inspirational that you do have an actual linear, big, hairy, audacious intention. But when you access the feeling from that, the emotional charge, and you name that feeling, and you claim that feeling as an I am statement, that's something that you can now rip out, post right beside your success signature, and use that as one of your filters. If this project, as it's flowing, especially, you're not going to feel it all the time because you're an entrepreneur and you have to get shit done, right? You're not always going to be in that, it's good. So it's just not going to happen. But use it as a test at different things along the way. When you're selling and it's working or not working, tapping back in and saying, okay, let's access that big, hairy, audacious feeling set. Where along the process here did I miss it? Did it go away? Did it stop? And then go back to that step and say, what happened in that step that changed it so that I don't have that feeling anymore? Because that feeling is the pull. That feeling is the pull. The whole key about abundance is to actually use the feeling as the pull, not the thing that creates the feeling. Because the thing that creates the feeling will not be what it looks like when you actually get it. It won't be. It'll look very, very different. It might look similar, it might not look anything like it. But the feeling is the key. And you'll recognize the feeling and say, oh, yeah, I feel it. And that'll be the pull to the next and the next and the next. And you can use that as a filter through this whole system. That's a new piece. You heard it here today.
Jen?
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and I want to get people on break to work on this so that we can come back and do the coaching because I want to be cognizant of our time. So what we'd like to do now is take a break and give you a chance to fill with whatever you've got right now. Fill in what you can see for your success business. Whatever you fill in is great because it will let us see great questions to ask. It'll help us see the gaps. So please take some time during the break to fill this in. It's now...
What time is it?
3:33, so be back at 3:45 so that we can do some jumping in spot coaching.
We're going to do some spot coaching when we get back. Okay. Oh, crap.
They're back, but I don't want to do that again.
Great, thank you.
I've been told that a few times, actually. What is that?
No. Oh, my God. Oh, no.
It's a good thing.
That is a good thing. We okay?
Yeah.
Good? That was cool then.
Good, very good.
Clear on this piece too.
Well, and the other thing that I'll just say, and I didn't work so
Yeah, me too.
Okay, I just wanted you to know where I was doing it. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that.
No, I'm saying I'm agreeing. I'm
Yeah.
not telling you that I knew. I'm
Yeah.
telling you that I'm agreeing.
Yeah.
That she's been,
Yes. And she's the only one with the 3%.
that's amazing. No, it's good. So, I actually think there might be an opportunity for this girl right here to actually join us.
So there's just a couple of things I need to set up. One is if there's
Can you turn the volume? Can you like turn this
Yeah, I can
mic
mute
off?
that, yeah.
Thank you.
there's
You can actually just mute it on the box if you want. Oh, you can? Yeah?
up in just a minute.
Okay, well, let me talk about this first. So, some of you were interested in this. If you haven't heard of this, oh my God. It's one of my favorite products on the planet. This will give you pee that heals. Pee that heals.
All in that one little container.
That's it. That's all you need. Healing pee. This is actually the shower thing, so this might not, but you can actually use this as well as a regular. This is structured water. Clayton Nolte. Clayton Nolte is this amazing human being. He worked in the weird side of the federal government in the Department of Defense for 40 years. He went to Russia and trained with the top occult people in the Russian scientists, right? Russian scientists who into the occult. He's just astonishing. And when he retired, he basically said, I want to do something that's going to transform the world. And the message his success signature received was to create this unit. And this unit, there's another portable unit that you can use. You can also use this as a portable unit too, but this is the shower unit. We have it for sale back here. This is on sale, less than cost. It's actually, it's not quite our cost, but it's not certainly. It's $297. It's normally $400. $399.
We offered on our site for $347.
$347. So it's $50. Let's give it for $257. Okay, this is $257 here today. For those of you online, you can go to specials.healingwiththemasters.com/Clayton. And there you can actually get the home unit where your whole home vibrationally sings with his unit. And you can also get the portable unit, which you can use to pour water through and drink. It actually decalcifies the pineal gland. Structured water is so incredibly healing. I love this stuff. And this is a shower unit. So it's here for $257 if you're interested. We have it because I had some extras that I bought for demonstration purposes. So it's available in the back if you're interested. Okay, so we're going to give it to you for $257. Normally it's about $100 off.
Do you use straight on tap water?
Yeah, you can use.
I brought it here with me. Can I just really use it?
Yeah,
on
absolutely.
LA tap water?
You can use LA tap water. I'd recommend putting it through a couple of times, LA tap water, like 4 or 5 times probably.
I use like 6 times.
Yeah, my favorite is 6 times. I only pretty much drink.
6 times with filtered water at home, but I figure
Yeah, you should be able to use LA tap water. It won't taste very good, but it'll be good for you.
Okay.
I took it to Nicaragua last summer, and I used that portable on Nicaraguan tap water.
Oh my God. And you were absolutely fine. Yeah, it's amazing. It is truly a miraculous device. So back to Success Signature. Welcome everyone from home. Welcome back. And we're coming to the finish line. What were we going to talk about?
We're going to set them up so what we're going to do is have a couple of you come up and have the opportunity for coaching with Jen. And what we'll ask you to do is to bring up what you have complete. So don't worry, it doesn't need to be perfect. That's the point. And actually having whatever you can see down on this is helpful to a coach. It's helpful to the coach as much in what's missing as in what's there.
Yep. So the person who has the crystal store, for example, the coach would be able to look at this and clearly see the ocean gap between having a store and where they're at, right? In terms of skill set, in terms of financial wherewithal, in terms of market understanding, and so on, right? This is the kind of stuff that when you work with a coach in particular is going to really help you. But it also will show you the gaps. That it'll show you that some of the stuff you don't know that you don't know. So, and again, if you join the membership site, that's a little piece that we can start working with you a little more closely on, is to get a better understanding of where you're at through this, rather than starting from scratch.
All right, so we're going to invite someone
we're
up.
going to invite someone up. Would you come up and join us? Thank you. Mary, would you mind coming to the front, and Jessica? And Mary Kay is probably gonna have to take off, so she has a hard stop. So I just wanna say a big, huge thank you, and thank you, Mary Kay. So what you got?
Hi, I just realised I haven't written these strategies down, but. Where am I?
I can't read it anywhere, yeah. So, what is this first word?
Generate
Okay, generate money,
Yeah.
£200,000 minimum
per annum, yeah.
per
Annum.
annum.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever made $200,000?
No, nowhere near, and I've realised how much tax I'd pay on that.
Yeah, so, yeah, that's interesting that that's where you go to as well, that,
Yes.
from a, energy perspective.
Yeah.
So this 200,000 per annum might be more of a audacious intention, okay, because that is nowhere near where you're at, right?
Okay,
So
yeah.
what happens is if you have that as an objective,
Mhm.
and there's likely a pretty decent chance you won't achieve that, you'll be disappointed.
Right,
Right?
that's interesting, yeah,
Okay. So you wanna put realistic objectives in your objectives, things that you can actually get done, that are going to happen. And the $200,000 is probably, for you right now, more of
Mhm.
this over here,
Mhm.
okay? Okay. Enjoyable,
I put enjoyable coaching business because I have been coaching, but I don't always enjoy it. I don't
Okay.
always find it as satisfying as I'd like to.
okay, and why do you think that is?
I don't think there's been a sort of misalignment around there. Some of the coaching I've been doing is about money, but I've had a lot of money problems myself. I just haven't felt good about it.
Right, right, so
Yeah.
it's not that you can't do it, it's just that there's a misalignment with it. Right, got
Absolutely.
it.
In fact, I can do it quite well, but it just isn't comfortable.
Right, because you're not achieving the money that your clients,
Yeah.
right.
I
So
know that I want to. I'm probably achieving more than they are, but I'm still not in alignment with me.
Okay,
Yeah,
got
I
it,
want to be.
got it.
Yeah.
So you're still ahead of them in terms of financial
Quite
wherewithal?
often, yeah. More often than not, yeah.
Okay, okay, well then, that should be okay, in terms of, that's probably a conversation that's better with Mary at the moment, but, so let's,
Well, what about a big audacious goal of, I am able to,
Excuse me, can someone write this for me?
sit
oh,
with.
yeah, Julie, you can,
Would you mind scribing
would you
for
be a
me,
scribe
please?
again? Thanks, honey.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for
I
asking.
am free to talk about money and free in my energy with money. Cause you've got a whole lot of energy
Judgment.
stuff
Yeah.
around money.
Mhm.
Yeah, but you wouldn't put judgment in,
No, but that's what's happening, there's
Yeah,
judgment,
judging myself.
you judge
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, I would put that in a audacious goal for you, because you've got to transition through that.
Mhm.
And it will help as you tell me what's going on.
Now,
Yeah.
it's, for me, I'll just tell you what I'm thinking about. It's, for me, the challenge has been having a long career in therapy and then transitioning to coaching. And what it is for me, I've also put on there another thing I alluded to. So far, my hands have changed my career 7 times. I had eczema on my hands develop while I was a student nurse, and by the time I graduated as a student nurse, they wouldn't give me a job. So, excuse me, so far these have changed my career 7 times. And it's like they're constantly my indicator, and they have been recently as well. And I really feel deep inside me that when I'm in alignment, this will just go. But it's 7 times a heck of a lot.
Yeah,
So
it's
there's
a-
something there as well.
Yeah, I'm just tapping into the sadness.
Yeah.
There's just so much sadness.
Yeah, it's disappointment.
Yeah, there's sadness that's underlying it, that's what I'm feeling.
Mm.
There's a sadness before the disappointment, that the disappointment is in the hands,
Yeah.
the sadness is about the hands.
Yeah. And the interesting thing was, when I did my success signature, it was joy.
Mm.
And I was so astonished, because I'd never thought of myself as a joyful person. Never. What the hell did that
That
come
would be a
from?
big, hairy, audacious
Yeah.
intention too, is to be fully living the joy of your success signature.
Yeah. And ironically, the picture that came up was of me and my sister, who was passed away 5 years ago, playing dolls
Sorry.
hospitals when we were little girls, and I became a nurse. Fully commit to it.
For fear of the door closing?
You know, I don't know if it's that really. I think it's I'm not good enough to do this. Who am I to coach you when don't feel I'm that successful myself? And also, it's been about bringing my holistic stuff into the coaching, because I've absolutely loved the hands-on side of being a
There we go,
therapist.
that's it.
And if you look down here, there's something I attempted to do a couple of years ago. I learnt story massage for children, which is where you draw a story on someone's back. They do it quite a lot in schools in the UK, and it's never been my thing to do it in schools, but to do it in a group like this just lights me up. And I did start making a series of videos where I was demonstrating different stories. So someone at home with their kids can do this with their kids every night, and it does really change families and lives. And then I started experimenting doing it with people to get someone into their vision, to get their vision into their body. But it was just like, there's been so many things I've kind of started and I just haven't really quite worked, and I've got demoralised and pulled back, and that's why I came here, I think.
Right. So what's really cool about you is that you have never stopped. You've done 7 careers, for gosh sakes.
Oh, probably more than that.
Right? And you've got some amazing ideas. And when you talked about the storytelling with kids and when you talked about the holistic stuff, I got a zing. I got a zing on those two. Like there's a heartfelt connection there. So
that's where the joy comes in.
Yeah.
It's just fun.
And I just want to say to you before we do anything, I'm so sorry.
Oh, thank you.
I'm sorry for all those closed doors. I'm really sorry. I'm sorry for why and how and all of it. I'm just really, really sorry that happened.
They do feel quite powerful dots that I've joined behind me.
Yeah. So one of the things it feels like would be great work for you to do is to really, gosh, just acknowledge and love those parts of you that close those doors. Is that possible?
Yeah, I suppose so. I suppose it's something you try and move away from, isn't it? Not
Yeah.
sit with.
Right. So would you be open to kind of moving out of your head right now, which is where you're living very, very profoundly?
Oh, yes.
And moving into your heart. Yeah, and this is a very vulnerable thing, and it's not something you enjoyed being. Is that true?
In my heart.
You don't like being vulnerable.
No, it's not good.
Yeah, it's not
comfortable.
Not good, not comfortable. And guess what you're doing? You're on stage in front of hundreds of people being vulnerable.
That's all right.
So this is the kind of person you are, right? This is what you do. You move through, you move through, you move through, you move through. And right now, what I'd like you to do is to stop. Stop with me. Stop and be with Mary and I right now. Okay? Just move your attention into your heart. Good. And I want you to feel all those aspects of you that shut the door. Yeah, that's it. And that's it. That's it. And just feel the feelings of those doors shutting. And for the rest of you, do the same. Okay? And those online, do the same. Feel those parts of you. And feel that's it, right there. Just feel it, honey. Just feel it. You're super, super safe here right now. Yeah, that's it. Good. Feel that. That's it. Yeah. 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 And I just want to tell you, I really care about those parts. I really, really care about it. And I want to thank them for protecting you. Somehow, those aspects felt that shutting those doors would be a protection. And they're likely from old experiences where you needed that protection. Is that true?
I think so.
Yeah. I'm sorry for what happened to you that created that coping mechanism. And these aspects that needed those doors to shut. To shut. I'm so sorry. And I really care about how they feel. I really care about them. I'm so sorry. That's it. And just allow them to have their say. They had good reasons, didn't they? What were they feeling? Name the one that shut the door on nursing. What was she feeling?
Just a hopelessness, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just,
Yeah.
where do I go now, you know? Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just feel her hopelessness. Feel her hopelessness. Just allow it. Just feel it. Feel her hopelessness.
You're stronger now.
Yeah.
You're in a different place now, and you can be with that.
You can be with her in her hopelessness now.
Yeah.
Because you have the wherewithal and the strength in this moment. Otherwise you wouldn't have created it. So be with her in her hopelessness. Allow her to feel that hopelessness. Allow her to fully be it. That's it, that's it. That's it. You can feel her mind going, can't you? You can feel her mind in the confusion of it and the why of it. It's not fair of it and the angry of it. Right? And you are holding her in a space of tremendous compassion. Is that true? Yeah. Just allow, there it is. That's it. Good. That's it. And she didn't do anything wrong. Is that true? That's right. And, you know, all the New Age stuff that we teach doesn't change it. It was damned unfair. Right? And she just gets to feel the unfairness and the injustice of it. And you get to hold her in that space of loving support as she feels that injustice. Yeah, that's it, that's it. You get mad, that's it. Feel that anger. Feel that anger. That's it. Yeah. Yeah, there, good. That's it. My beautiful dear Rosemary, this is what it is to be alive. This is it. And you're doing great. That's it, right there. Just loving her, and loving all parts of her, and loving you in this moment. Loving you right now. Yeah, as you face the confusion of now. Like, I haven't been able to, so what's different about now? Is that true?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to put words in your mouth, so if it's not true, please correct it. Keep in your heart, keep in this place, keep in this place. That's it, good, 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 good. It was very nice. Did you guys see that? She went up into her head and went right back. Good, this is really good. That's it, right there. Wow. There's power here, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
There's power here. Yeah, yeah, there it is, right there. That's it. So from here, as you look out on the jewels of opportunities that are standing on the altar before you, there's the jewel of holistic healing, there's the jewel of the work with the kids, there's the jewel of coaching, life coaching. You should look at those jewels. Yeah, there it is, there's the smile of recognition. Yeah, that's it, and the sadness of maybe not, maybe I can't do it. And it's okay to feel that, it's okay to feel that as you look at those jewels. It's okay to feel that, because that's a part of you that's been around for a long, long time. It's okay to acknowledge her. Just say, I hear you, I hear that there's that fear. Maybe that door will shut again. And yet I'm here, aren't I? I'm here, all these years later, having tried all these amazing things and having used every single one as a stepping stone to learn something new about myself and my talents and what's possible. Is that true?
Mhm.
Yeah. And those jewels that are standing before you, that are sitting before you, they are the result of all those crazy door shuttings, aren't they? And as you look back, you might even notice that the doors never shut. You just got nudged by the universe to move on, to apply another skill set, to be trained in a new way, to be trained in a different way, in a more expanded way. Now you can apply your skills as a nurse to whatever's next. Now you can apply your skills at all of those shut doors to this. Is that true? Are they actually shut doors?
No, they're not totally shut.
Yeah, you still have them in you. All the things you learned from them, all the skill sets you gained from, all the power you discerned from them, yeah? Is that true?
Mm.
Good. Now look at those jewels. That's it. Now which one are you ready to play with next? Which one will light you up? And again, from your heart, not your head. See the head? That's it. Good. Right there. That's it. Which one?
Coaching.
There you, oh my God, right? It's coaching. It's coaching. It really is coaching. It really, really, really is. It's coaching. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Now, as you tap into that, it's coaching. Tap into your ideal customer from this place, from this grounded, centered, heart-centered place. Tap into the customers that are gonna just soar from this heart-centered approach and confident, powerful person who didn't have doors shut but just had experiences that you bring to the coaching. Imagine all those people who are going to come to you, who you can now show them that the doors never shut. Maybe all those doors shut so you can help all those people who thought the door shut. Feel into the ideal customer that is you. That is you, right after you finished nursing and couldn't do it. How would you coach her through that? Yeah. What I'd like you to do, we're not gonna do this with you right now, because you've got this wonderful work ahead of you. The homework I would like you to do is to, all those doors that shut, I want you to set up as cases that you would coach.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to do a little journal. It's a little homework here, okay?
Great.
So the you that was the nurse that didn't get to nurse, I want you to be her coach. Give me another one.
Someone who was allergic to oils, so she had to stop doing massage.
There you go. The person that was allergic to oils, so couldn't do massage, coach her.
Yeah.
Okay? And as you're coaching these people, I want you to bring your gifts. So the gifts that you are on that table are all things that you can use in your coaching program, right? So The storytelling is something, like you said, you could do a kinesthetic story on their back or on their arm or whatever that will bring them to their vision, right? So you might coach one of yous in there at different stages of your life with that one, right? You might coach someone else with the holistic piece, right? So the one that was allergic to massage oil, you might bring your holistic coach person to her, as well as the coach person for her to move through something she can't accomplish or she wasn't able to do. Does that make sense? So, go ahead, Mary.
So, what I'm experiencing with you is that you're highly intuitive. So when you're coaching people, is you're really tapping into what's going on with them and able to intuit the coaching. Is that correct? Do you come at it from a cognitive thinking? This is the way to do, this is
It's
what
ABC, this is how you do it.
Or do you intuit, intuitively? Are you, do you receive information for them?
I never know what I'm going to work
Yes,
until I'm with
there you
them.
go,
Okay.
there you go.
So, the reason I'm bringing this up is because this is what is, I almost said, the second language. This is what
She's
is
smart.
messing you up. Is because you're incredibly gifted at showing up and whatever's in front of them, being able to say, oh my gosh, I can see. I don't know where it came from, but I can see.
See where you're at, see the path.
And
see
I can see what is gonna help you, right? Is that true?
Sometimes, not always. I think I'd spend an awful lot of time here. So,
So, but I think that that's why, you can help people that come to you for, increasing their wealth or abundance work or whatever, and you're able to help them. Because you're actually seeing what's occurring. You're intuitive, what is the other word with that?
Clairvoyant, clairaudient.
Yeah, you're able to receive information for them.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Clairvoyant, yeah.
I'm not aware of it, no.
Well.
But is it correct? Is it
okay,
correct, though?
So that, is that,
So
is
you,
that?
you show up and you have no idea what you're gonna say, you meet them, and you're able to guide them. That's,
Well, I guess I've been doing it with my therapy clients for 20 years.
Exactly.
So maybe I am, but
Sure.
I've not recognised it as that. So.
sure. So
Yeah.
let's in this moment try that again.
I was gonna say, that's why
And-
it's messing with
right,
you.
and
'Cause you're
so-
thinking, I need to be that to coach that.
Right.
That's not how you coach. You coach with whoever shows up, and you're guided. You're guided and shown, what to share with them, yes?
Okay, so you're in your head right now. Your head's not gonna ever be able to answer that, because your head's gonna say, no, I'm shit. Your head's gonna say, no, I'm shit. No, sorry, I'm shit. No, I'm not, no, I'm shit. Right? So your heart, on the other hand, has so much more respect for you. And your mind will get there. Okay, so spending more time in your heart, and I still think this idea of coaching the you that was in each of these incidences from here, will start to give you some of that confidence so that your mind can go, oh wow, you really are incredibly talented. Holy crap. I had no idea. Your mind's caught on a loop of some kind that happened likely through some kind of trauma. Likely through all of those traumas, as well as something that happened long before that created the pattern that you're now playing with. So here's what happens for those of us who are in this field of personal development. We experience crazy stuff so that we can teach it. We experience crazy stuff so that we can guide our clients through the same crazy stuff. Right? The reason why myself and Mary are pretty good at this is because we've been through it. I've been through the worst you could possibly imagine. That was my childhood. And I am able to coach people at in very traumatic situations, because I experienced the most traumatic situations you can manage, and not just once, but over and over and over and over and over and over again. I understand post-traumatic stress, I understand how to move through it, and I understand how to move through it in a moment. And I get to therefore stand up as a very strong coach, being confident in just about any situation because I've been in the worst situations. And I can probably say with confidence most of the people listening to this and talking can say something similar. Is that true? Right? So the notion of the wounded healer drives me frickin' crazy. It isn't that. It isn't that. It is the powerful teacher of experience. It is the powerful being of experience, of life experience and life adventure, and the courage to move through all those shut frickin' doors so that we can help others with their shut doors. Right? So we are not victims. We are souls that took on big jobs. That's it. That's it. Or I trust my soul's decisions. I trust that your soul, I trust your soul. I trust your soul. And I trust that your soul took you on this crazy journey of shut doors for a really good reason. And you're a marvelous therapist, aren't you?
I'm pretty good.
Yeah, right? You're a therapist for 20 years. You helped a lot of people. Is that true?
Yeah.
A lot of people with really, really intense stuff, right? Like crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So you have a gift, and you have this capacity. There's your success. This is all yours, right? So your success signature is. I mean, your job right now is to understand and know your success signature. Understand and know those jewels, and start playing and experimenting with those jewels from this place. Here, not here, here. And playing in a field of mistakes are great. Do you know, have you ever heard of a product called WD-40? Do you guys know why it's called WD-40? Because WD-1 through 39 didn't work. It's a true story. It's true. That's why it's called WD-40, because the 40th time it worked. So if WD gave up at 37, we wouldn't have WD-40, right? So we get to keep, the opportunity for you now is you can't get it wrong, okay? Can you say that?
I can't get it wrong.
Yeah, that felt real. Didn't that feel real?
Yeah.
I can't get it wrong. I'm going to experiment with these 3 things, and I can't get it wrong. I'm just going to play. I'm just going to play. That's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to play. You haven't played in a really frickin' long time. It's time to play. Time to play with your amazing gifts. Amazing, amazing gifts. And the crazy doors closing for the craziest reasons that gave you these wild, dispersed, amazing skill sets. Right? You used it and you moved on. It's like, okay, that's not going to stop me, I'll try this. Okay, well, that's not going to stop me, I'll try this. Okay, that's not going to stop me, I'll try this. It didn't stop you. You know how I know that?
Still here.
Never
quite went bankrupt. Close, but not quite.
Yeah, not quite, but not quite, not quite. I tell the story of almost living in my car. I tell the story of an eviction notice on my door. And here's the reality of that story. It didn't happen. I never lived in my car. That's the truth. It makes for a great story. It's very compelling. And it's true. I thought I was going to live in my car, but I didn't. Right? I didn't. It never happened. I never lived in my car. I've never been homeless. Never happened. I never had to move. I never had to put my stuff in storage like I thought I might have to. I never had to figure out if someone could take me. None of that happened. You're not bankrupt. It hasn't happened. Right? And you cannot believe the miracles that can show up when you move from here And you allow the brain to just, I'm not even gonna tell the brain to stop because it's so involved. I'm just gonna tell you to move here so the brain can witness you as the genius that you are. And the brain's just gonna settle. The mind's gonna settle. When it starts witnessing you and your genius here, it will let go.
So I think that's what happened last year when I started your program. That was just the biggest eye opener ever. Everything changed, and I started working on it. And I think when things didn't go as I wanted to, it was, God, how can I do this with anyone else? It's not working for me. I think it was all head. And,
Yeah.
And it's changing a habit of a lifetime.
And it's easy. It's so, how many people have done that? How could I possibly, yeah, right? How could, I've done it. How many times have I done it, Mary? Like yesterday. How could I possibly be, right? But when we're in our success nature, it's like, how could I possibly not? Seriously. How could I not? How could you not? How could you not give your gifts to this world? Who are you that you're not doing it? And it's right there in front of you, those 3 jewels, they're there. And the coaching is shining above all, and the other 2 support the coaching. Like, who wouldn't want a coach that could help me with storytelling and my vision, and health issues, and psychological issues, and business? I mean, you don't have to choose one.
Altogether.
Well, yeah. So I mean, you kind of do this from a marketer and from an ideal, an ideal customer perspective. You want to start with one. But what happens is most of the time, here's what's happening to me, right? What am I, a business coach or a healer? What am I? Surely, what would you guys say? Right? I don't have to choose one. I didn't know that for a long, long time, but now I know that. I get to do both, which we just experienced right here. Right? So that's the opportunity. You pull people in to one. A lot of you are here because you wanted to make money and create heart-centered businesses. And you're experiencing healing in the process. Right?
Well, that's my long-term vision, to have people on one-on-one retreats to work on their business, but also do healing work as well.
Yeah.
That's what I'd really love to do. Have
Do
someone
it.
with me, maybe 4 or 5 days, and
Great.
really do some one-on-one work.
Oh, wow, that sounds fantastic. Having a 5-day workshop with one person, I love it. I love it. 5-day retreat. Where are you in England?
I'm just east of London.
Oh, that'd be cool. Imagine some folks in the States going over there for a 5-day retreat in England, in London. That'd be so cool. You could take them to the sites and have them lay down in front of the Big Ben and do a session. For $325. Where is she? Is she gone?
Not here.
Oh.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Wasn't that amazing?
Very
Right? Thank you. Good. Good, good. Very good. Okay, we're done. Sorry. Okay, so I was hoping that you would do this.
Okay.
So, name again. Teresa. Teresa's came up to me in one of the breaks and said, oh yeah, it's right there. Said, I've got, 20 different things that I could do, very similar to Rosemary. I've got all these different things that I could do, and I don't know where to start, where to blah, 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 nothing. So Teresa's objectives are identify where to take my business. That's a great objective for where you are. Great, great, great. Do you get it? so proud of you, really, you know,
you.
that you were able to just say, I don't know, so my objective is to know.
Right.
My God, that's frickin' brilliant, right? That's so cool. Substantial retirement, nice. Expand my business, and what's this one say? Inspire people to get their more
To their,
authentic self. Okay, these are great objectives. Now, you're in the program.
Mhm.
Okay, have you put together your declaration?
I have, but as we discovered today, it wasn't sufficient because I
Oh.
didn't have my
Okay.
ideal clients. I didn't really,
Okay.
from the book, I didn't really understand what the declaration was.
Okay.
So I just guessed.
Okay.
And I need to tailor it.
Okay, good. So declarations are exactly that. They're your best guess. Okay? And one of the things that you said to me on the break that I wanted to share that was really important was, I don't know what I want to do, so I couldn't do my declaration. It's actually the opposite. I wrote my declaration for the first time in 2003, and all I knew was what I didn't want to do. That's all I knew. I knew that in 2003, I knew I didn't want to work in corporate America for anyone else again. And then I finally left in 2006. Right? So that was my first declaration, and a big portion of what you heard there was my declaration I wrote in 2003. The declaration I shared today, I wrote in 2006 when I quit cold turkey my job in corporate America. I had no idea what I was going to do when I wrote that declaration. So much so that I quit my job and went and got my insurance license and became an Aflac insurance salesman. I'm not kidding. I really did that. I really did that. And you know, it was my Taurus nature. I couldn't quit cold turkey not having something to fall into. So I'm like, okay, I'll do Aflac. I'm really good in sales. I hate what I'm doing now. I'll become an insurance salesman because, you know, I'll have a nice retirement. Right? Aflac is great because you sell it now and you get your commissions forever. Okay? So I'm like, okay, that's what I'll do. So I spent 3 months getting my insurance. I spent about $1,000 getting my insurance license. I passed the test on the first round, and I went to Aflac the next week, and I worked there for 2 weeks, and I almost died. It was awful. Awful. Ah! The people there are amazing, and the people do well in Aflac are amazing human beings. And Aflac is a great company, seriously. I actually recommend that all of you look into Aflac because when you're on disability, it will give you money. If you break your leg, you'll make money. So you get money for the best injury. Seriously, if the commercials are true, the duck is distracting. It doesn't really tell you what it is. But it's a great company. And it just was not my success nature at all, right? And so that's when I wrote my declaration. My declaration had nothing to do with Aflac Insurance. It had nothing to do with marketing. It had nothing to do with what I was going to do. It had everything to do with who I was, who I am, what my passion is. My declaration, let me just read it to you again, so you get an idea of this. Where is it? It is in no, it's not there. There. And it is there. I have to wear these as the day gets later. As a conduit and an amplifier, okay, that wasn't there. I started off with, I share mine and others' sacred inspirations and visions on a large scale to encourage and empower shifts in perception for increased global consciousness. In service, this was verbatim. The first sentence has probably changed a little bit since 2006, but this part is verbatim. In service, I commit to my own growth and the growth of those I interact with, nurturing our unique human potential and creating forgiveness, release, financial abundance, and joy along the way. What others see as obstacles, I see as opportunities. I now share my light without hesitation. Can you see that in 2006? That was big because I worked in corporate America. and I couldn't share my light at all. And I shined the light of the Joy of Life Mastery, which was a recent brand addition, so that wasn't quite there yet. But being in the global world, creating peace on this planet, changing myself and impacting others, bringing them joy and love, that's not a job description, is it? Right? I had no idea what would show up from this. No idea. And about 18 months later, I did Healing with the Masters, the first season. Right? So your declaration is not about your job at all. It's about who you are as declared by your success signature. Now, the strategies that we give you allow you to get closer to your declaration by doing a business visualization. The business visualization in the program allows you to just play in what's possible. The ideal client visualization and worksheet allows you to play in what's possible. There's a very good chance that you and a lot of you are going to change as you go. So from this perspective, the first step I would give to you is to rewrite your declaration as you.
Right.
Who are you? Not what you've done, not you've done Reiki, not you've done any of this other stuff. Who are you? And now write the declaration from scratch this time.
My declaration is like only me. That is the problem, I think, because I think that was the problem there, because it was just
It's
how
not
I.
necessarily the problem.
Mhm.
It was about the essence coming through all the way, and then it's like, okay, so what are you bringing?
Well, go get your declaration.
Scribe?
That'll be a real nice coaching experience. I'm sorry, I'm so emotional now. So-
Right. I think it's too much meat. Well, I could be wrong.
Ooh,
Sorry.
let me see. Okay. In creativity and joy, I live as the brightest light that I can be, and I endeavor to help others to do the same. I promote peace, balance, and harmony, and encourage those with whom I have contact to find the divine within themselves. I encourage all those with whom I interact to manifest love to the world in their daily lives. My service flows from my contact with Source energy, and I put my skills at the service of those who are searching to connect with Source and to live out of that deep connection. My light, joyfulness, and creativity allows those around me to experience and live out their own light, joy, and creativity. And you did this in June 11th?
Yeah, just before coming here because.
Okay, and it hasn't manifested yet? I can't believe it. It's been 3 days. I actually think this is pretty good, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay.
I like it a lot.
I have
Yes, please.
the latter half.
Yeah.
It sort of comes to life.
That's where it comes to life, yeah.
Okay.
So, let's just decide that.
Yeah, you could start from here. I encourage all those whom I interact with to manifest love to the world in their daily lives. My service flows, actually this part's really good. My service flows from contact with my Source energy. And I put my skills at the service of those who are searching to connect with Source and to live out that deep connection. That's good. You could start pretty much there. My light, joyfulness. So a lot of times what happens when all of us write is the first 3 sentences or 3 paragraphs or 3 pages you throw out.
Yeah.
Because that just gets you into the flow of it.
Mm-hmm.
My light, joyfulness, and creativity. I love this. My light, joyfulness, and creativity allows those around me to experience and live out their light, joy, and creativity. That's kind of like that, a statement.
Well, because that's directly from the success signature, piece that, when we did that originally.
That's what
in
you
your
wrote down?
course. Yeah, that's what, those
Yeah.
3 words, that was
Right.
exactly what that
Right,
was.
there it is, there
Right.
it is. Okay, so isn't that cool? The success signature work is now incorporated into the declaration. This is perfect.
Okay.
You get an A+. 2 A+. So what's the problem?
Well, the problem, let me tell you. The problem is, I sell my greeting cards, all these greeting cards, okay, to a clientele from 55 to 75 at shows, so very labor intensive. I go there, they cry in front of my booth, okay, they tell me things and they go, oh, we can't find this anywhere, and then I go, I have to continue doing this. So I paint, I go home, I paint, some more things and I sell it to people. That's one set of clients. And then my other set of clients is the spiritual direction clients, where they come, we drink tea, we delve into their soul. I listen, they cry, they go away, whatever their trauma is or whatever, okay? And then the Reiki work too is combined with the spiritual direction. So I have these two very hands-on things. And my clients, my customers, buying the cards are telling me, and I do all the spiritual direction at the booth too. We do a lot of grief work.
Spiritual direction is that someone else's modality or yours?
That is like Spiritual Direction International out of Seattle.
Never heard of it.
Okay, well, it's in the religious domain anyways. It's a classic thing from the Jesuit tradition. It's really classic. It's from St.
Have any
Ignatius
of you heard of this
Loyola.
before? No? This is cool.
Incredible, right? So
Spiritual direction, so you're a licensed spiritual direction coach, or?
it's not like a coach where I'm telling them what to do or whatever. I'm listening deeply to their soul, keeping track of what they've told me over time, pointing out, relevant words during the conversation, going with my intuition, and they come to the next step on their own. So kind of
Lovely.
Accompanying them.
That's lovely.
Right,
And is
so-
that actually the model that you were taught by them, or is
Yes.
this your model?
No, it's a taught model.
100%, you're doing exactly the protocol that they suggest.
Yeah, I try. Yes.
Or do you? Because you
do.
might
I
not be. You might be
do.
doing your own modality. That's what it feels like to me, that you're actually not doing spiritual direction. You're doing you.
That's good.
You're
That could be right.
I mean,
I mean,
feels
that's-
like you might be doing a little bit of, my service flows from the contact with my source energy, and I put my skills at the service of those who are searching to connect with source and to live out that deep connection. You might be doing a little of my light, joyfulness, and creativity allows those around me to experience and live out their own light, joy, and creativity.
Right,
That
you're
might be
right.
a little bit more of what you're doing.
Okay, so all right, I could agree with that. I could agree with that. It's like you tap into your higher self, really big, and then you figure that their higher selves are going to talk, and you just listen, and it's all going to happen.
Okay.
Which it does.
So, you have your own modality. Okay, so this is another thing that happens with a lot of healers, which is that we learn a modality, and we are now in the box of someone else's technique.
Right.
Okay, so the modality of this is the guy who's invented its modality. It's your technique. Okay, so I love the healing practices. To me, are changing dramatically. Mary Hall has been a wonderful and excellent guide to me on this, because she's only learned one modality and only used it for like a month or two, right? So learning someone else's modality that becomes your technique gives you tremendous confidence that you can do it. And it gives you this beautiful portal and access point to move into your modality, okay? So claim your modality, right? I now have body dialoguing. I tell people I was trained in polarity and craniosacral and Reiki, and then I established my own modality called body dialoguing. You have your own modality. It has to do with creativity, by the way. Creativity is in there because the painting stuff is part of it, and there's something about merging those two things together just in a session, they get their own personal painting and greeting card that they can put on their den, frame it, and it emotes energy from that's happening, right?
Right, yeah, because it is energetic.
That's
those
all
things.
happening,
Right, right.
So does this sound like anything that anyone else is doing? No,
I
it's
don't know.
yours. The answer is no.
Okay. I don't know what people are doing.
Okay, right?
All right,
But
so that's fine.
That's what you're doing.
Okay.
So you get to claim it as your own, that you're not necessarily, if you want to still, claim the licensing piece of this, but
Sure.
start moving into your own brand, okay, your own mode.
Right.
Start playing with what that mode is and looks like. Start having some marketing conversations with your ideal customer in your own head.
Right.
Okay, so one of the bonus audios that you find in your Success Signature program is talking about the 7 secrets. Like there's a secret, 7-day secret to conversing with your ideal customers. And that is, I'm going to give you the secret today. Are you ready? Are you ready for the secret that I'm going to, no. It is to journal every day to your ideal customer for 7 days. Write a journal to your ideal customer. Write a letter to your ideal customer. Tap in and write a letter from your success signature to them. It can have any kind of content that comes to mind. Recommend that be a really nice strategy.
Right.
Start playing with this, because here's what happens. When you start writing this stuff down and start having this crazy pretend conversation with your ideal customer, what happens is you start seeing some patterns in your conversation. You start seeing copy. You start seeing products. You start seeing how you actually serve them. You start seeing the services you're actually delivering, right? Marketing professionals. I used to have clients that would get really upset with me because the public relations, the press release, we argued over it. They argued internally over it. Just give us a press release that works, right? So I created this model, and I said, part of how a press release works, I just positioned it differently with them now. And I said, the press release is the place where we get to play and experiment with our messaging. That changed the entire dynamic. I now became this brilliant person instead of the stupid person who couldn't write a press release or get it approved. Now it became this wonderful, engaging, dynamic experience of experimenting and playing and pretending. And, you know, it's like, no, it's not set in stone. No, it's not. It takes 2 weeks to write a press release. You know, especially for newer companies who really didn't get this. No, it takes 2 weeks. You know, it should take any more than a day. But it takes 2 weeks when you're coming up with a new concept, a new product, a new service, when no one has really laid it in as to what the messaging is, right? Mm-hmm. So this process of writing letters to your ideal customers will really help you to establish this conversation that's like, wow, I didn't even know I thought that way. Right. Okay?
Right.
So through that process, you're going to start to understand a lot more. And now that you know what your declaration is, I would go through the first couple of modules again.
Yeah.
And just like, it's a good declaration. It needs a little bit of fine tuning.
Sure.
But it's really, really close.
Okay.
I mean, starting from the second sentence on, it's really close. It's very good. Because it's right, it's really attuned, isn't it, Mary?
Yeah, the latter half.
Yeah, the latter half is good.
Well, there's, it lights you up. So I would go more with that and expound on the other essences that light you up.
Okay.
One other thing that I want to share, can I borrow your, where is it? Sorry, I'm sitting on it. This is also a really great process to use if you have a lot of ideas, like lots and lots and lots and lots of ideas, right? So if you have a lot of ideas, you can start playing with, what are the objectives for this idea? 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 And then start, do one of these for every idea. And it's really a great practice. By the time you're done, you're going to know which one you want to do, which one's next. You're going to know exactly which one's next, because you're going to realize that there's a huge gap between here and here in the tactics. That it's like, okay, I'm not quite ready for this one. I'm not quite ready for this one. I'm not quite ready. You've got 20 ideas. We've got one of these for each idea. And out of the 20, there's 2 that's like, wow, I can fill this out, I can fill this out, I can fill this out. And I can even get to the big, hairy, audacious intentions. You're going to know really quickly when you use this as a tool with all your many ideas. Of course, the other thing is to do the exercise we just did with Rosemary, where you go in and you look at all the ideas as jewels and see which one lights up. And then do this with that idea and see if it's real. Does that help? Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you, honey. That was great. Thanks. 2 A's. Gold stars. Doing great. Yeah. Okay. We gotta clear up. So I want to thank everyone so much for being part of this, our very first inaugural Success Signature program. I'm just so proud of you for showing up. You can see that we don't have an enormous audience here just yet. We've got a pretty big audience at home. But you're going to remember this in years to come. And you're going to say, one second. You're going to say, wait for it. You're going to say, I was there when. I was there when. I was this guy. I was this guy. So, again, if you're interested in the coaching program, fill out your form, give it to Julie in the back, and you'll get your bonuses. I think we still have room for 2 more 90-minute coaching programs. Have no more sold online so far? Okay. If you're interested in joining us in our Success Signature program, Success Signature, if you haven't purchased the Success Signature program, my God, like, you're not convinced now, for God's sake, and that's successsignature.com. If you have not joined us as part of our Success Signature Labs membership site, it's something I'm so proud of. It's that if you can't do the coaching, it's that step between the Success Signature coaching program. So it's kind of the step before that where you can get real decent support. Yes, Paul?
Were you going to talk a little bit more about Volume 2?
Oh, Volume 2, yes. So what are we doing for Volume 2? We didn't put it in the package.
We were offering discounted rates.
Okay. So if you'd like to upgrade to Volume 2, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to reopen the page for Volume 2. What is that page again, Mike? Is it upgrade? Yeah, successinitiative.com upgrade. So we're going to work on that tonight. We don't have that ready. But if you have not upgraded to Volume 2, we're going to give you a chance to upgrade now at the formerly discounted price. Okay, so we discounted it from $747 to $547. So you can have that discounted price again. And I strongly recommend it. Like I said, it's just astonishingly good material. It's probably the material that we'll reflect back on and say, Larry King, when he has me on his show, will say, wow, that Volume 2, wow. A really good Matt shared something with me just to finish up. A really good game to play with each other is something that we do as a team all the time when we get together for our on-site team events. And we always do the remember when? Remember when? So do you remember when you were on Oprah? Do you remember that? Do you remember when you went on Super Soul Sunday and you had her like rolling on the floor laughing? Do you remember that? Do you remember when we had that big Success Signature event and we had 10,000 people come and that we had to turn 2,000 people? Do you remember when that happened? When we had to turn 2,000 people away? Do you remember when we wouldn't let Fox News come to the event? Do you remember? So it's a great game in the spirit of big, hairy, audacious intentions. It's a great game to play with your friends. It's a great game to play in your mastermind groups. It's a great game to play sending to your friends on texts. Do you remember when? Just play the remember when. I just spit again. That was fun. Just play there's no one to receive that. I'm so sorry. I think you're right. Oh my God, the carpet spittle. Marketing opportunities abound. But it's a great game to play with your friends and really get you into that big, hairy, audacious intention field. It's really, really fun. And get a partner and do some texting with it. So any questions before we finish up, before we leave? Any questions about the coaching programs, about the, yeah?
When does the coaching program start?
Oh, that's a good question. Mike?
That will start next month.
Next month.
Yeah, we'll be in touch shortly, and then in the meantime we'll have the bonuses, and we'll arrange calls with Mary and Jen.
And when will the 3-day event be?
The 3-day event is actually according to when it's filled. So we will set the date with the people who have decided to join us. Okay? And we'll do a 3-day event when 5 people join. So as soon as 5 people say yes, we'll put the event together, and we'll work with those 5 people to figure out what weekend it's gonna be. So it's very, very flexible.
Will there be like a replay or anything where we can access the live stream at all?
Yeah, I think we're probably gonna be figuring that out in the next couple of days. So the answer is yes, we just didn't know when. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you folks online. And thank you to our beautiful folks online. We're sorry you couldn't make it, and we can't wait to see you next year right here, okay? Okay? Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
That is the right it's not.
I used to work at Aflac too. I did it like for 6 months.
You did?
Yeah.
No way.
I was laughing. I'm
Oh
like,
my God. Did you really?
I totally did.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
It's a good company.
It's a good
just-
company.
yeah.
Yeah, but.
Oh my God.
But yeah, that's. I was like, oh my gosh, our backgrounds are so
Yes. Similar.
Yeah.
Did you talk to Mary Kay at all?
I did. I
Okay,
did.
good.
So I'm going to be sending my declaration